Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Final Fantasy Exvius video. This is going to be another beginner series, something a little more simple. So we're going to be talking about abbreviations and shortening of words, things like that you guys should probably know. There's a lot of terms around that you may just be scratching your head and saying, hey, I don't even know what that even means. So we're going to be going over some of them, not all of them, because we don't want to overblow your mind a little bit. We want to make it, this is a beginner series. This is an intermediate or expert series. This is just beginner, so this is just some beginner terms that you probably should be familiar with or become familiar with. So maybe some of you maybe not so beginners anymore. Some of you may have already played other games that have these similar terms, but I already know that there are some new players coming into the game because at least from my point of view, I've seen some people come into my Discord say that they're completely new players and they love my videos, I guess. So I appreciate all you guys who always watch my stuff, even if it's nothing that interesting like this one. Maybe it is interesting to you. Anyways, let's get into it. So this is only the first slide, of course. There's many more slides, but this is the most simplest of terms that you guys should know for sure in this game. So it's ATK means attack, MAG, mag, means magic, def, defense, SPR or spear. I don't think anyone ever says it in that way. It just says SPR. I think most people just say spirit in terms of just saying it. So those are the 4 attributes that you normally can raise with certain things in the game. And we also have HP, which is hit points or health points, whatever you prefer. And also MP is either magic point or mana points, things like that. MP and HP are kind of like universally just known. But I just wanted to add them anyways, just in case maybe you don't know them. So, TMR, Trust Mastery Reward, I think that's a very important thing to know, especially with the beginning of the game. Trust Mastery Reward, you get to 100% of their TMR process there, and you get their item. So that's what that means. And STMR is Super Trust Mastery Reward. So if you have 2 more 5 stars and you already have them as a 7-star, you can only get an STMR if they're in their 7-star form or in their Neovision form. Like if you have a Neovision unit, you can already try to get their STMR, but generally speaking, a 7-star you would need 2 more, or you can use an Omni Prism to get to that. You can maneuver that away and you're getting an STMR of the choice that you chose for that unit. Single target is just a single target attack. Like some units may just have single target chaining or finishing or things of that nature, like targeting abilities. And AoE is just area of effect. So for example, a buff to all allies is AoE, or a AoE break to the enemy, for example. So those are just some very simpler ones. Let's get into some other ones here. They got dual wield, so two weapons, or true dual wield, also 2 weapons. There's a distinction between dual wield, which is an older thing that was in the game that's just more simple, and true dual wield is a lot more complicated. We're not going to go into it. I already have a video on it, so if you want to know more about true dual wield, go ahead and watch the previous episode. Anyways, you got some double hand here, which is 1 weapon. You probably don't really need to worry about double hand. It's an early outdated mechanic, which was replaced with true double hand. Speaking of the previous episode, we also went over TDH. So if that interests you as well, make sure to check that out. We have Imperil, which is just an elemental debuff, like 120% fire Imperil. So you have 120% decrease in their fire resistance. Most units will have 100% to 125%, 120% Imperils, sometimes even 130, which is the highest. On the JB side, currently there's some that can go to 135. That's the highest so far. IW is Item World, which is a term of a different game, but I came over to this one because they're very similar in that. Or just Steel Castle, Melt Fikia. I may have pronounced that correctly, maybe. LB Limit Burst, very simple. just using numbers. UOC, which was a JP term, but everybody kind of knows about it. But I just also mentioned the 5-star select summon ticket, the gray tickets that you may see when you start playing the game. Meta is just, okay, here. I simplified meta as just top units, but meta is like a hugely defined term, and it could mean a whole bunch of different things in terms of what game you might be discussing. But in this video, we're just saying we're making it super simple for you guys, super easy. Top units. Top units are meta, basically. So let's just make it that simple. EHP, which is almost not really talked about much, but I just wanted to put this here really quickly. Defense and spirit with HP calculation. So for example, you don't have 0 defense and spirit usually, so with your HP and those stats, you can calculate how much damage you're going to take from the boss's hit. So there you go with that. And evasion or dodge is just miss chances. So if you have 100%, you're going to always make the boss miss unless he has moves that make it so he can hit you still. Which there are a few of those, but we don't need to talk about that in this video. This is a beginner series. So moving into the last slide here, we have some more simple ones. AMOE is also called Absolute Mirror of Equity. Stardust Ray is SR. AR is, oh my god, I am like famously not knowing how to pronounce this. Auroral Ray. I think it's because of my, you know, I can't really pronounce it. Even if you tell me in the comment section how to pronounce it, I think it'd be pretty tough for me. So sorry about that. BS is there's 2 terms for BS, unfortunately. It's a little confusing, maybe for new players. Bolting Strike is a chaining failing, but also Brave Shift for new vision units. So there's that. CWA is the primary chaining family for mages. Chaos Wave Awakened, which started with Terra, the 5-star version. There's several 5-star. There's 2 5-star versions. The previous 5-star version, I think it was Trans Terra. Yeah, Trans Terra was the one who started this. And CW is Chaos Wave, just regular Chaos Wave. CG is computer generated, so a lot of CG units, you'll say, oh, CG Arden or something like, not CG Arden. I wish there was a CG Arden. You know, CG this, CG that, CG Regan and CG Folka, things like that. Those are CG units that have a animation when you use their limit burst if you have it turned on. CG is cooldown. So for those blue abilities with the little clock looking ability on the side of when you looked at your units and they have an ability that says you can only use this on this turn, and it lasts for a bit, and then you gotta wait a little bit before you can use it again. That's a cooldown. Next, this is another general term in a lot of different kind of games. Doesn't mean in this instance I'm going to tell you what it means, but in this game DPS is a little different, like damage per second or damage per turn, but you're not really doing damage per second in this game because it's turn-based. So damage per turn is probably more accurate. Just an attacker, let's call it that. An attacker, a finisher, a chainer, someone who deals damage is a DPS. QOL is quality of life, for example. What's a QOL? Like, a QOL is like being able to summon 10 EX tickets at once instead of just 1 at a time. So that's quality of life change. MK is King Mog event or Mog King event. The one where you get you put bonus units together and you are able to get bonus and you can get some currency and you can exchange that for stuff. SC story event, the one where you just, go through the story, you get some items, lapis, things like that. A raid, we're currently having a raid on the global side, but it's going away soon. So raid uses orbs and it's basically the same thing, put bonus units together. That used to happen in the past, there was no bonus, but now there is. Put some units together, get some bonus, and get some stuff. NRG is energy usage, the energy bar you see at the top of the screen. Use some energy, it'll go all the way down to 0, or it'll eventually charge back up, but yeah. And the last one we want to talk about for this video, NRG, random generation or generated. So it's an old term in a lot of older games that kind of came over to this game because there's NRG is in a lot of games because that's how the game is programmed. So for example, like you could get like RNG could be like a pull, like a 10+1. You could possibly get 11 rainbows, but is that gonna happen? Probably not. So that's an example of RNG. So thank you guys for watching this video. This is about as much as I want to explain in this video. I wanted to make it super easy, super simple to understand. I didn't want to cram in any more terms than this. I picked through a lot of stuff that I think this is what you should know when you're playing this game. These are the absolute must-have terms for now. And then maybe in the future you'll start figuring out some other terms that, like, hey, now that I know what this means, maybe I can find out what these things mean on my own. So, if you guys like these beginner series, please give a like. If we can get 50 likes on this video, that'd be really great. If you watch all the end of this video, make sure to type in hashtag AMOE. Hashtag AMOE will be the keyword for the ending of this video. Thank you guys for watching this beginner series. Please let me know if you want me to continue this, because the last one didn't do too well, because, well, the beginner series isn't going to do too well anyways, but thank you guys for watching anyways. Maybe you did learn some things that you maybe didn't know, or maybe just a refresher course. So thank you guys for watching. Remember guys, can we get 50 likes on this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.